Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, over to you Mataji, please continue from text 109 and take us through the South India trip of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, I'll try my best, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, one nimisha. Hare Krishna, Ramananda Gane Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dalatana.
Prabhu, small suggestion, so we can encourage our children from Madhya Desh and Krishna Desh and children to do kirtan before the program, 15 minutes program. 9:30
Yes,
India
Prabhu.
time, 9:15 to 9:30, they can do 15 minutes kirtan. So it will be, let them engage the service of the Lord. It will be good for us also in the group. So this is my small request. If possible,
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for suggestion. We'll try to implement this too.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji.
Mataji, adjust the camera slightly down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes, Mataji. Okay.
Okay, start with Mangala Charan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैर्पितरतौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ जयो जयो श्री चैतन्य जयो नित्यानन्द जय अद्वैत चन्द्र जय गौरभक्तवृन्द जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद. I pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj and my Siksha Gurus, and all the devotees present here, so that I speak the right words according to the context. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. So we are in the 7th chapter of Madhya Lila. So Mahaprabhu has started his South India tour. So from today we'll be relishing the South India pastimes, where Mahaprabhu will be visiting, starting with the Kurma Kshetra. So I'll be starting from verse number 109. Okay. नवद्वीपेयै शक्ति नाकैला प्रकाशे शक्ति प्रकाशे निस्तारिला दक्षिणा देशे. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest his spiritual potencies at Navadvipa, but he did in the South India and liberated all the people there. So when Mahaprabhu started his South India tour, so we all know that actually all the Navadvipa, the people or the devotees, not pure devotees, we can say the people in Navadvipa, so they were not so inclined in devotional service to the Lord. That's what here Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying, that Mahaprabhu did not manifest his spiritual potencies, but he manifested the same potency what we had in the southern part of India and liberated all the people. Why Mahaprabhu did not manifest his spiritual tendencies? That's what Prabhupada explains in the purport. Because in Navadvipa, most of them were Smartha Brahmanas. Smartha Brahmanas in the sense they were not pure devotees. So their main business is only to follow the Brahmanical principles strictly. So that we can say as Vaidika Bhakti, which they followed. So, and they were not enlightened in devotional service. So, and most of the Navadvipavasis, the followers of this Smriti Shastra. That's what Prabhupada writes in the purport. And Mahaprabhu did not attempt to convert them. So why Mahaprabhu did not attempt to convert them? So that's what I heard in one lecture from Vaishishika Prabhuji. So in that, Prabhu was mentioning that, so Acharyas say that if people are not interested in listening, so we should try to avoid them. We say that we can neglect them. So because if they're not, but what can we do for them is we can just meditate upon them so that we can possibly save them. So in that way we can. So Mahaprabhu also, through Mahaprabhu's past tense, we can understand that how we have to preach, to whom we have to preach and to whom we should not preach. So this type of behavior is called as the Sadachar behavior, which was performed by Mahaprabhu. So, and even when we can think possibly to deliver them, though we try to avoid them. So what do you say, face to face we may not talk with them, so because they are not interested or they are not inclined, but still we can meditate and think that how we can try to bring them in this particular line. So we all know that actually why Mahaprabhu took sannyasa, so I don't want to go in detail in that. So even when Mahaprabhu stayed in Navadvipa, so especially we all know that every evening Mahaprabhu used to perform Sankirtana in Srivas Angan. So even in that place also, only very few devotees, means who are in that particular, not only in that line, and who are inclined in devotional service, only pure devotees were eligible to enter into. So that's what, in that way we can understand that. So if people are not interested, so we can just try to avoid them, but we can think about them. So basically, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 20th chapter, so there is a difference which is explained about the rainy season and the autumn season. So here Prabhuji was explaining that, so in rainy season sometimes we can see, in autumn season, not in rainy season, in autumn season sometimes we can see clear water and sometimes we may not see the water. So in the same way, so this is compared to the preachers of Krishna consciousness, that so if they want to speak, they will speak, or else they won't speak. So the same thing we can learn from Mahaprabhu's one. So here Prabhupada is saying that, therefore the author had remarked that the spiritual potency of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest at Navadvip the way it was manifested in the southern part of India. So thus everyone in southern part of India, because they accepted, they all became Vaishnavas. So by this we should understand that people, it's to be understood that people are really interested in preaching in favorable situations. So if they are not favoring, so we cannot speak to them. And Prabhupada further is mentioning that if the candidates are for conversion are too disturbing, a preacher may not attempt to speak about Krishna or spread about Krishna consciousness. So we should see if it is favorable only, we should speak. So Prabhupada gave his own example. We all know in Prabhupada Lilamrita, in the first volume, Prabhupada writes many places that he made many attempts in India and to spread the Krishna consciousness. We all know that he wrote many letters to Mahatma Gandhi, because a great leader is there so that the people will also follow the same thing, so based upon the leader. So he tried many times to make people aware of Krishna consciousness. That's why Prabhupada is saying that movement was first attempted in India, but people of India, being absorbed in political thoughts, they did not take it. So from Prabhupada, many times he mentioned that if if we say that why don't you worship Lord Krishna, in India they say that why only Lord Krishna, why not any other Lord? So in that way they used to not a debate. In that way they were never inclined more to Krishna. But Prabhupada also said that when he went to Western world, and when he started preaching, so everyone accepted Lord Sri Krishna as the supreme Lord. So that's what Prabhupada says, that they were entranced by the political leaders. We preferred therefore to come to the West, following our orders of the spiritual master, and by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu this movement is becoming successful. And we have seen, when we read Prabhupada Lila Amrita, we can see the glorious expansion of Krishna consciousness movement which took place in the West initially. So that's what it is mentioned over here. Further in the 110th verse, Prabhu kahe yei bhaje tara tandra kripa haya se e sabalila satya karilayam. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowering of others can be understood by one who is actually a devotee of the Lord and who has received his mercy. Yeah. So only a devotee, bhaktyamam abhijanati, that's what Lord says in Bhagavad Gita. So only devotee can understand that the way Lord empowers, and those people, when they become great Vaishnavas, when they are empowering others, that we have seen in the previous verses, that only can be understood by the devotees. A person who is not in a devotional line cannot understand about it. And for others to understand, it takes a long time for them. अलौकिक लीलया यारा नहया विश्वासा इहलोक परलोक तारहया नाशam. So if one does not believe in the uncommon transcendental pastimes of the Lord, he is vanquished both in the world and in the next. So as Kaviraj Goswami is saying that we should, if one does not believe, we should have belief on the Lord. If you don't have belief on the Lord, then he will be vanquished both in this world and the next world. So even when we see in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Janma karma ch me divyam. So Lord's Janma, karma, whatever activities he perform are all transcendental. If he knows only, that's what it says, that evam yoveti tattva tyaktva deha punarjama naiti mameti suarjuna. So if one does not come, but if one does not believe these uncommon pastimes of the Lord, so he cannot, he is vanquished both in this world and the next. So that's what here Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning. So further, प्रथमे कहिला प्रभुरा ये रूप गमना रूपे गमना ये मत जानी है याव दक्षिण भ्रमणम. Whatever I have stated about the beginning of the Lord's tour should also be understood to hold for long as the Lord toured the South India. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying that whatever means the way Mahaprabhu has enlightened previously in many verses. Mahaprabhu, while he was walking on the roads in the southern India, so whomever he met, he used to chant and he used to make them chant. He used to embrace them so that the power can be transferred, and they used to go to their village and they used to transform many people. So in that way, whole South India tour, Mahaprabhu invested power for in everyone so that everyone can become a pure Vaishnava. येई माता यैते यैते गेला कूर्मस्थाने कूर्मा देखी कैला तांड्रा स्थवना praname. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the holy place known as Kurma Kshetra, he saw the deity and offered prayers and obeisances. So the first place in which Mahaprabhu started his southern India tour is from the Kurma Kshetra, which is in Andhra Pradesh. So that's what Prabhupada gives the geological place where it is situated. So actually, and one more thing Prabhupada also mentions is that the Lord Jagannath took Ramanujacharya from Jagannath Puri and in one night threw him in the Kurma Kshetra. So we all know this very famous pastime. So I read from Purushottam Swami, Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj, what he wrote about Jagannath pastimes. In that it is mentioned that Ramanujacharya, so he was the founder of the Sri Sampradaya, so and he preached the doctrine of Vishishta Advaita. So once Ramanujacharya, so he recognized Lord Jagannatha as Lord Vishnu and Mahavishnu, and he had influence over the king, and he saw that the worship whatever they do in Jagannath Puri is not according to the Vedic what do you say Vedic bhakti. So that's what, because even Daityas, we all know that even Daityas also worship Lord Jagannath. So offering puja and everything were not done in a proper way. So Ramanujacharya so instructed the king that this is not the system which you are supposed to follow. So from tomorrow onwards, follow the system which I'll be mentioning to you. So in that way, so the king agreed, but the devotees of the Lord Jagannath, they did not agree to that. So that's what it is changed that. Okay, so Jagannath Sevakas objected to this new system, but the king would not listen to their appeals. Finally, the date was fixed. So when Ramanujacharya said that from tomorrow you are supposed to follow this particular process in the temple. Okay. So the next morning, Prabhuji, can someone mute? Okay. So the next day morning, the king and all the Brahmanas arrived at the temple early morning, and they were ready to follow the process which Ramanujacharya has told them to follow. So everyone was waiting, but they couldn't find Ramanujacharya. So after some time, the king ordered the pujari to start worship Lord Jagannath as it is, because Ramanujacharya was not found. So on that night, before the night, so Lord Jagannath appeared in the dream of Ramanujacharya, and they told him, Lord chastised him, saying that, who are you to change my puja system? Let my devotees worship me as they have done from the beginning. They are my dear devotees, and I have a special relationship with them. You do not understand. They do not disturb. Now get out of here. So in that way, Lord appeared in the dream of Ramanujacharya, and he chastised him. So the next day, he was thrown out of Puri to this Kurma Kshetra. So that's what even Prabhupada is mentioning over here, that the Lord Jagannath took Sri Ramanujacharya from Jagannath Puri and in one night threw him to Kurmakshetra. So about the lineage of the Kurmakshetra, how it how it was maintained, everything was mentioned over here. Even Sri Ramanujacharya thought that the deity of Kurma as the Lord Shiva's deity. So therefore he was fasting there. So that's what Prabhupada mentioned here. Later, when he understood that Kurma Murti was another form of Lord Vishnu, he instituted the very gorgeous worship of Lord Kurma. So this Kurma Kshetra, the Brahmanas, those who are doing the worship of the Lord, so they follow the Madhva Sampradaya. So in the he was worshipped by Vaishnavas of the Madhva Sampradaya. So even you find many inscriptions which are written by Narahari Tirtha, who was one of the disciple of the Madhvacharya. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur elaborates on this particular. So this is about, so the first place which Mahaprabhu visited is the Kurma Kshetra. प्रेमावेशे हासी कांदी नृत्य गीता कैला देखी सर्वलोकेरा चित्ते चमत्कारा हैला. While at this place, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in his usual ecstasy of love of Godhead and was laughing, crying, dancing, and chanting. Everyone who saw him was astonished. So the same thing. When we all know that when Mahaprabhu used to take the darshan of Lord Jagannath, so we could see the same type of symptoms. One way we can say is that one of the Ashtasattvic Vikas. So the same thing Mahaprabhu exhibited over here, that he was laughing, crying, dancing, and chanting. So very important thing is that everyone who saw Mahaprabhu was astonished to look at his unusual behavior. आचार्य सुनिया लोका अहिला देखी बारे प्रभुर रूप प्रेमा देखी हैला चमत्कारे. After hearing of all these wonderful occurrences, everyone came to see him. When they saw the beauty of the Lord and his ecstatic condition, they were all struck with wonder. So this is the greatness. So whoever came to see Lord, so looking at the beauty of the Lord, because we all know Lord had a very beautiful face. And everyone are struck with wonder when they saw the beauty and the ecstatic conditions of the Lord, which were mentioned in the previous verse. Darshana Vaishnava Haila Bhale Krishna Hari Prema Veshenache Loka Urdhava Bahukari. Just by seeing Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became a devotee. They began to chant Krishna and Hari and all the holy names. They were all merged in a great ecstasy of love, and they began to dance, raising their arms. So, just by Mahaprabhu, just by glancing on them, I mean, they also looked at the beautiful face of the Lord, and they all became devotees. And what did they do? They started chanting Krishna and Hari, and they were merged in the great ecstasy. So that's what, just by having a mere physical association with the Lord, so they could see the glorious, looking at the glorious face of the Lord. So they also merged in the great ecstasy of love, and they also started dancing by raising their arms. Krishna nama loka mukhe suni avirama sei loka vaishnava kaila anya sabha gramam. Always hearing them chant the holy name of Lord Krishna, the residents of all other villages also became Vaishnavas. Okay, so this is what Mahaprabhu made everyone to become Vaishnava. So if one person started chanting the name of the Lord, so when he was empowered by Lord Mahaprabhu, by the Lord, so every other residents of that village also, they also became Vaishnavas, because the love, whatever they got, the qualities that were transferred to others. ये माता परंपरया देश वैष्णवा हैला कृष्ण नामामृता वन्यया desha bhasaila. By hearing the holy name of Krishna, the entire country became Vaishnava. It was as if nectar of the holy name of Krishna overflooded the entire country. So this is what Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning, because in relation to the previous verse, all the residents also became great Vaishnavas. So the nectar flew from one person to another. In that way, everyone got the bliss of chanting the holy name of the Lord. कथाक्षणे प्रभु यदि कथाक्षणे प्रभु यदि बाह्य प्रकाशिला कुमा कूर्मेरा सेवका बहु सम्मान करिला. After some time, when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested his external consciousness, a priest of Lord Kurma deity gave him various offerings. So now, after Lord saw Mahaprabhu, I'm sorry, after Mahaprabhu saw Lord Kurmadeva, so we could find the ecstasies in the Lord. So when other people who came to take the darshan of the Lord, and when they saw Mahaprabhu in their ecstasy, they also got transformed. They became Vaishnavas. So after that, Mahaprabhu, when he came to the external consciousness, then the Brahmana, the Purba Brahmana, the priest who was taking care of the deity, so he gave various offerings to the Lord. येई ग्रामे ययतहान येई व्यवहारा एकथानि कहिला ना कहिब आरा बारा. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mode of preaching has already been explained. I shall not repeat the explanation. In whichever village the Lord entered, his behavior was same. Yes. So we can see from many verses that Mahaprabhu, wherever he went, he invested he empowered everyone by his behavior, and because Mahaprabhu also chanted the name of the Lord, and he made others, whoever was in contact with him, they were also empowered, and they also chanted the name of the Lord. That's what here Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning, that in whichever village the Lord entered, his behavior was same. So there was no change in his behavior. कूर्मनामसेयी ग्रामे वैदिका ब्राह्मणा बहु श्रद्धा भक्त्या कैला प्रभुरा निमंत्रणम. In one village there was a Vedic Brahmana named Kurma. He invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home with great respect and devotion. So Kurma Brahmana, so he followed the Vedika Brahmana, means a Vedic Brahmana followed and he with faith and devotion, so which is very important. So here with faith and devotion, he invited Mahaprabhu to his house. घरे आनी प्रभु कैला पाद प्रक्षालना सेई जले वंश सहित करिला भक्षण. This Brahmana brought Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home, washed his lotus feet, and with his family members drank that water. So we can see the similar way drinking the water in the Gundicha margin also. Some of the devotees, they drank the water which flew from, after Lord's feet was washed. So same thing here also we can see that with the family members, he drank all the water after Lord washed his feet. अनेक प्रकार स्नेहाभिक्षा करेला गोसानीरा sesha anna savamsa khaila. With great affection and respect, that Kurma Brahmana made Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eat all kinds of food. After that, the remnants were shared by all the members of the family. So Kurma Brahmana, he gave all respect to Mahaprabhu and he offered all kinds of food. So the remnants, that Uchista, he shared with all his family members, because three prasadams are very, three uchistas. If I'm not wrong, it is mentioned in the Antilila of Chaitanya Charitamrita. I forgot the other one. One is the water from the lotus feet of the Lord, devotees. The second one is the remnants which they leave. One more I forgot. So these three are considered as the Maha blessings which we take. So because I read in Antilila, I think in the Kalidasa, one of the great devotee of the Lord. So in that particular context, it will be mentioned. Prabhupada will be mentioning the purport. I don't remember the third one. So if anyone remembers, just share to me after this.
Dhuli Mataji, dust
Yes,
from the
Dhuli Prabhu. Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So one is the water which is washes the feet of the devotees. Second one is the remnant. Third one is Dhuli. So these three are considered as very, it's a blessing for us if you get that. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Dear Krishna Prabhu. Yes. यही पाद पद्म तुम्हारा ब्रह्मा ध्यान करे सेई पाद padma sakshat aila mora ghare. The Brahmana then began to pray, O my Lord, your lotus feet are meditated upon by Lord Brahma, and these very lotus feet have come into my home. So Brahmana, he understood that Mahaprabhu is Lord. So that's what he's saying, that your lotus feet are meditated upon by Lord Brahma. Even in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni asked Brahma that I see you meditating upon someone. So on whom you are meditating? And then Brahmaji says that he is meditating upon the Lord. So the same thing here, Brahmana is saying that your feet are meditated by Brahmaji, and this very lotus feet have come to my house. So he was feeling very happy in one sense that Lord has come to my house. Mora bhagyera simana yaya kahana aji mora slagya haila janma kula dhana. My dear Lord, there is no limit to my great fortune. It cannot be described. Today my family, birth, riches have all been glorified. So by the presence of Lord, here he's saying, Kurma Brahmana is saying that there is no limit to my great fortune. And he is saying that I cannot describe, because everything has been glorified because of Lord presence in his house. Next he says, Kurma Brahmana says, Kripa kara Prabhu more yan tumhara sange sahita na pari dukha vishaya tarange. Then the Brahmana begged Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, kindly show me favor and let me go with you. I can no longer tolerate the waves of miseries caused by materialistic life. So after feeding the Lord with a good prasadam, and after taking the remnants, so he glorified the Lord, saying that we all got purified because your lotus feet has been placed in our house. So after that, Brahmana is begging the Lord, saying that, do me a favor. Now I want to come along with you. So along with Mahaprabhu. So and he's saying the reason why he want to go along with Mahaprabhu is that he can no longer tolerate the waves of miseries caused by materialistic life. So for this, Prabhupada explains in this statement saying that this is applicable for everyone, regardless of how rich or prosperous one may be. So, and even Prabhupada quotes the statement given by Narottam Das Thakur. They're saying that materialistic way of life causes burning in the heart. So, and further it is said that one cannot make any provisions for the troublesome life of the material world. We all know that material world is dukhalayam. So we cannot make any provision because it always trouble. Padam padam yad vipadam. Always there will be trouble in this material world. So, and further, Prabhupada is mentioning that it is a fact that one may be very happy as far as riches are concerned, and we may be opulent in every respect. Yet one has to manage the vishya to meet the demands of the body. So, however opulent may be, however a rich person he may be, but still the desires or the vishyas or the demands of the body and so families are to be managed. So, and in that one has to take trouble to minister others. So as to fulfill our desires, we are troubling others or troubling ourselves. So that's what here Prabhupada mentions. So therefore, Narottam Das Thakur, a very famous song, it's a Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Sudha Abhimana. Some 1 minute.
কবে আমার হারিব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন
Sri Vrindavana, yes. Okay, thus one must be freed from the materialistic way of life. So, Vishaya Chadi. So, when will I get rid out of this Vishaya Vasanas? Then, when will I get the when will I be freed from the materialistic way of life? So, in that way, Narottam Das Thakur sings. So, here Prabhupada mentioning that one has to merge himself in the ocean of transcendental bliss. So we should try, one has to try, so that we should try to get rid of this materialistic way of life. So how can we freed is that we'll come to know the next verses what Mahaprabhu says to Kurma Brahmana. So here Prabhupada is mentioning that the Kurma Brahmana was very materialistic, very happy because he has everything. So it is mentioned here that the Janma Kula Dharma. So according to the family traditions, he has been following. But he wanted to travel with Mahaprabhu. So he want to leave all the material opulences because he doesn't want to be with them. So, according to Vedic civilization, so one should leave his family after attaining 15 years of age and go to the forest. So, we all know that this is the Vanaprastha and devote the rest of the life in the service of the Lord. So, this is the one of the instructions according to Vedic culture is that after 50 years of age, so we should retire from our materialistic life. So, then what Mahaprabhu says to Kurma Brahmana, so what is the instruction which is given? So, we'll see. प्रभु कहे आइचे बात कभू न कहिबा गृहे रहे कृष्ण नामा निरंतरे लाइबा. Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, "Don't speak like this again. Better to remain at home and chant the holy name of Krishna always." So, because Kurma Brahmana said that he wants to leave everything and come with Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu said, "Grihe rahe Krishna nama nirantara laive." So, remain at home and chant the holy name of Krishna always. And what is the instruction which is given by Prabhupada in this, that it is not advisable in the age of Kali to leave one's family suddenly. So a person who has been in the Grihastha life, so he cannot leave his family suddenly. So first thing is that he should whatever responsibilities have, he should try to fulfill the responsibilities, then only he can leave. So further Prabhupada saying that for the people are not trained as proper brahmachari and grihastha, because in the nowadays we are not finding this ashrama system, first going to for being in a brahmachari, then what are the things which you are supposed to follow in a brahmachari life, so that are not taught in this Kali Yuga. So that's what it is said, that people who are not trained brahmacharis and grihasthas cannot leave. So it's not correct to leave the family suddenly. Therefore, Mahaprabhu advised Brahmana that not to be eager to give up the family. So that is not the right thing to give up the family. So, and Mahaprabhu suggested that remain with your family and try to become purified by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly under the direction of the spiritual master, which is very important. So we should, wherever we be, we should try to follow the four regulative principles or whatever the instructions which are given by our spiritual master. If this principle is followed by everyone, there is no need to accept sannyasa, because sannyasas mean generally detachment, vairagya. But being in the household life also, when you try to keep Krishna in the center and follow the rules and regulations under the direction of spiritual master, you are equal to a sannyasi. That's what it is mentioned over here. In the next, okay, so this is what Mahaprabhu explains, that saying that be at home and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And very famous verse we all know, यारे देखा तारे कहा कृष्णा उपदेशा हमारा आज्ञा गुरु हाना तारा यही देशा. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Sri Krishna as they were given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. So Mahaprabhu's instruction to the Kurma Brahmana is that follow the orders of Lord Krishna as they were given in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, we all know the famous verse, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam. So before that also the Lord says that karma, you have to do your duties. The same thing in Bhagavatam also, Save Pumsa Paro Dharma. So you have to do devotional service. So in this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. So that's what Mahaprabhu's instruction was given to the Kurma Brahmana. So Prabhupada is saying that this is a sublime mission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So whatever instructions were given in Bhagavad Gita and whatever followed in Bhagavatam, so we should try to follow. And Prabhupada is saying that many people come and inquire whether they have to give up the family life to join. So even many people spoke to me also, I mean, out of curiosity, that is it that people who join ISKCON, they should leave everything. But it is not like that. So that's what when Prabhupada mentioning that one can remain comfortable in his residence. We simply request everyone to chant. So, and Prabhupada further mentions that if a person is illiterate, so we have to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada says that everything is available. All these works are now in English available, and we all know that we get Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in different languages according to our mother tongue. So we should try to elevate ourselves, then we can preach to others. So that's what we are supposed to do, Achar and Prachar. So Prabhupada further mentioning that instead of living engrossed in the material activities, people throughout the world should take the advantage of the moment and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra at their home with their families. So I always hear from my seniors that a family stay together and pray together. So we should try to start with from our home so that others can also get inspired. So that's what we should try to do. And further, Prabhupada is mentioning that we should follow the four regulative principles. So we all are aware about these four regulative principles. So Prabhupada further says that similarly one should, okay, that is the Krishna consciousness movement is trying to elevate human society to the perfect of life by pursuing the method of described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his advice to the Brahmana Kurma. So we can elevate. So we all know that wherever we are trying to have small Bhakti Vriksha program. So we are trying to enlighten the people. Whatever we have learned, the same thing. We are trying to pass on the same message so that the actual essence can be understood to the everyone in the whole. So that's what even Mahaprabhu advised the Kurma Brahmana. So that one should stay at home, chant Mahamantra, and preach the instructions of Krishna as given in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So these are the instructions for all of us: chant and preach the essence of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Further, कबू ना बाधिबे तुम्हारा विषय तरंगा Punarapi ethani pabe mora sangam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further advised that the Brahmana Kurma, if you follow these instructions, your materialistic life at home will not obstruct your spiritual advancement. Indeed, if you follow these regulative principles, we will again meet here, or rather, you will never lose my company. So, very simple instruction was given by Mahaprabhu that be at home and chant. So Prabhupada says that this is an opportunity for everyone. If we simply follow the instructions of Mahaprabhu under the guidance of his representative, that is the spiritual master, and we should also chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and teach everyone as far as possible the same principle. The contamination of materialistic life will not even touch him. So that's what Mahaprabhu says to the Kurma Brahmana. It does not matter when one lives in a holy place like Vrindavan, Navadvip, or Jagannath Puri, or in the midst of European cities, where the materialistic way of life is very prominent. So if a devotee follows the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he lives in the company of Lord. Wherever he lives, he converts that place into Vrindavana and Navadvip. This means that materialism cannot touch him. This is a secret success for one advancing in Krishna consciousness. So this is what one of the instruction from Mahaprabhu to Kurma Brahmana, in turn for all of us of this, that because wherever we cannot stay every time in Vrindavana and Navadvipa, so we can make our place as a Vrindavan Navadvip and try to change ourselves and try to change others also. That in that way only we can success in Krishna consciousness. We can advance ourselves in Krishna consciousness movement. येई माता यान घरे करे प्रभु भिक्षा से ऐचे कहे तांड्रा करे येई शिक्षा. At whosever house Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accept his alms by taking prasadam, he would convert the dwellers to his Sankirtana movement and advise them just as he advised to the Brahmana named Kurma. So after instructing the Kurma Brahmana, so many people used to call Mahaprabhu to take prasadam. That's what we can see even in Lila also. Mahaprabhu was called to their house for prasadam. Same thing here also. So wherever Mahaprabhu went, so he advised whatever advice is given to the Brahmana, that be at home, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, follow the four regulative principles, and preach the essence of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So for everyone, Mahaprabhu gave the same instruction. So here, Prabhupada mentioning that the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explained very nicely. So one who surrenders to him and is ready to follow him within the heart and soul does not does not need to change a location. So when you try to carry Lord in our heart, wherever we may be, so we can follow. We need not change the location. We can, wherever we may be, either in it may be in a metropolitan city, wherever it may be, so we can try to follow. That's what here Prabhupada is mentioning. So one may remain as a householder, medical practitioner, whatever it may be, sthane sthito. So whatever it may be, doesn't matter. Only thing is that we should try to follow the instructions which are given by our spiritual master, and the essence whatever is given by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And one more important thing what Prabhupada says, that one has to learn humility and meekness at home, following the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that way, one's life will be spiritually successful. One should not try to be an artificially advanced devotee thinking that I'm a first class devotee. So it is best not to accept any disciples. Such thinking should be avoided. One has to become purified at home by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and preaching the principles enunciated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus, one can become a spiritual master and be freed from all contaminations of material life. So, we all know one of the important quality what we should have is humility. So, whatever instructions are given by Mahaprabhu, we should start from our house. If we follow the instructions being humble and meekness, so that is a way of our spiritual advancement. So this is what we can say. And for the those who are trying to accept disciples. So it is Prabhupada is mentioning that one should not try to be artificially advanced devotee thinking I'm a first class devotee. So it is best not to accept any disciple. So we should not think. So one has to be purified at home by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then only he can be freed from material contamination. And further, Prabhupada mentions, we all know about the Sahajiyas. So the activities which are done by the Sahajiyas, they imitate the the six Goswamis, who are we all know about the Chat Goswamis, who are the personal associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and who enlightened us by writing so many books. So, and even similarly, Narottam Das Thakur, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, and others accepted thousands of disciples to induce them to render devotional service. So, which is very important for us to do. So, and here Prabhupada says that the Sahajiyas who think that their activities are opposed to the principles are of devotional service, indeed they consider such activities simply another phase of materialism. So, they consider in a wrong way. Thus, opposing the principles of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they commit offense. So, we should not commit offense either to the devotee of the Lord or to the Lord. So, we should be very even for the Nama also, Nama Aparad also we are not supposed to do. So at last Prabhupada says that they should better consider his instructions, and instead of seeking to be considerable, humble, and meek, should refrain from criticizing the followers of Mahaprabhu. So even criticizing is also not good, which we can see some of the pastimes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also. So whoever follows in that way, not criticizing, should engage in preaching. So we should refrain from criticizing the followers who are engaging in preaching. We all know that the 10 offenses, the first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life. So that way we are not supposed to criticize them, which is one of the important aparadha which we are not supposed to do. And to protect his preachers, Mahaprabhu has given much clear advice in these verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we should follow. Mahaprabhu gave us the instructions. So whatever instructions are given, we are supposed to follow them as it is. Okay, so in the next verse, पाथेयते देवलये रहेयि ग्रामे यान्रा घरे भिक्षा करे सेयि महाजने कूर्मयाचे रीति तायचे कैला सर्वथानी नीलाचले पुनः यावत ना ऐला गोसानी. While his tour, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would spend the night at a temple by the road. Whenever he accepted food from a person, he would give him the same advice he gave the Brahmana named Kurma. He adopted this process until he returned to Jagannath Puri from the South India tour. So Mahaprabhu, I'll just read the next verse, then I'll conclude this. अतएव इहान कहिला करिया विस्तारा येई माता जानिबे प्रभुरा सर्वत्र व्यवहारा. Thus I have described the Lord's behavior elaborately in case of Kurma. In this way you will know Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dealing throughout the South India. So in this way, whatever instruction was given to Mahaprabhu, it is simple and easy for every one of us that chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, follow the four regulative principles, and preach the essence which is given in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam under the guidance of the spiritual master. And wherever you may be, think that it is a place of Vrindavan, and in that way you can convert that place into Vrindavan. So this is the essence which was given by Mahaprabhu to Kurma Brahmana, even for every one of us. So later, after this, Mahaprabhu will meet the Brahmana, that leprosy Brahmana, so that we will see in the next verse. So in the last, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning that wherever Mahaprabhu would go, so he would spend that night at the temple by the roadside and accept food from a person. So he would give the same advice. Everyone, he would give the same advice. So this is the essence of today's verses. Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhujis and Matajis. So if I have made any mistake, I might have made mistakes, so please correct me and please share your reflections on this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandatana. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thanks for the nice class. Very nicely explained the past life of Kurma Brahmana and his discussions with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and very nice instructions Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given. Very apt for us. Prabhupada mentioned this is sublime of our Krishna consciousness movement, because this is what Srila Prabhupada wants every one of us to do. Yari Deko Tariko Krishna Upadesh. So it is very, very important first for us we need to understand the pastimes of the Lord, so that we will be in a position to glorify these pastimes and preach to others. Thank you very much, Mataji. Thanks for the nice class. Devotees, any questions, comments?
Prabhu, I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, here it is mentioned that Mahaprabhu went to all southern part of India and he transformed everyone into great Vaishnavas. Am I correct? But until and unless I came to Krishna consciousness, I didn't know that Mahaprabhu, who is Mahaprabhu. And many of them in southern part of India, I think they are not aware of Mahaprabhu until and unless this ISKCON movement has come. So how can we think about what to understand about that? Did I frame the question properly? For example, I tell about my parents. If I tell them that about Mahaprabhu, say they don't know anything. So how can I understand that, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Mataji, actually, this is a very reason of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu's South India tour, that he has delivered many people. Now, from there, it is not that Lord Chaitanya Prabhu couldn't transform everyone. No, actually, he transformed. Actually, he is sown the seed of bhakti. Now, from there, it is our duty to keep watering them and spread. So, it is the responsibility Chaitanya Prabhu has given to us to take forward from where he left it. It doesn't again mean that he could not do, but he wants us to do that. So that is the reason Srila Prabhupada explained this once, that it is not that even Prabhupada could not, Prabhupada started this movement. Now the movement what Srila Prabhupada started compared to those days, it is many times it is multiplied. So it is a responsibility which Acharyas have given to the future generation to take this forward. So what we can understand from this is that yes, Lord Chaitanya Prabhu has started this, and he has visited South India many places. But from there, he wants us to continue this movement and spread. So this is my understanding, Mataji. If others have some, maybe Shamsundar Prabhu can add something on this. Shamsundar Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Can you add any point on this, Prabhu Mataji's question? Hope you.
Yeah. Yeah, as you said, lacking of and second more thing is second point is influence of the Sri Sampradaya in south is more than our Sampradaya. That is the main. That is my understanding. Even today, people are seeing differently when we are wearing this Vaishnava Tiraka and following this Sampradaya. People are seeing differently. Why this fellow, in particularly my family also, everybody following different Sampradaya, different Tilak, this one system. I am using this one, they are seeing different. So that is the why influence is more. Ramanujacharya influence is more here. And in this part also two are there. Vadakale, Dengali. Two category also in this Vaishnava Shri Sampradayam also. That is the reason I understood. So
Okay,
as you said, we have to spread the mission as much as possible. Mahaprabhu mission we have to spread. That is our understanding. Thank you, Mataji. Nice class, wonderful class.
Thank you.
Always
Thank you.
Mataji class always like
No, Prabhuji.
clean river. The river flow, is smoothly going.
Like
Wonderful
Mataji.
class.
Like
yeah,
Mataji.
like Mataji.
No, Prabhuji. Actually, today's
I'm
credit goes to
really
Vaisheshika Prabhuji only because I heard from him, so I could understand what was the content, Prabhu. I should not take the credit, Prabhuji. Yes.
wonderful, Mataji. Wonderful. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sudarshan Prabhu has some question, comment?
Yeah, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, very nice class, Mataji. Thank you so much. What I understood here that in at 125, and Kurma Brahman says that my family, my kul, and my assets, dhan, all have been get purified. So it means the contents which we have, whatever we have, that get purified, get by the association of the devotee, or we can say the Krishna's association. Second, when he says that I want to come with you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says him not to come to with him, and he given so many instruction Prabhupada has been given why we should not go here. And one was that family, you take a follow your family's requirements you have to do, and you have to follow the instructions of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that you have a deenta, matlab humbleness, and vinayashilta should be in this one, and you do the chanting and whatever siksha, then you doesn't need to leave the house. Now, when we talk about it, the dhamavas which has been given Prabhupada by 5 things, is it the dhamavas is not for the grasta, of course, but it is that for not for the one what you call vanprastha also?
Prabhu, I don't have much idea about that. I think Ramanand Prabhu can share. Prabhuji.
Prabhu, your question was not fully clear.
No,
Maybe
Prabhu.
I couldn't understand the.
What I am telling Prabhu here, 2, 3 things has been told by Kurma Brahmana. One, he says that my family and my kul, and second, my assets, all are get purified. Assets and a dhan. Dhan usually we don't consider as a part of the bhakti, because it is usually obstacle in our path of bhakti. So it has been purified by association of the Lord. This one raised question in my mind. Second thing was there when he says, I want to come with you. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no need to come with. And he explained him that you have to stay with the family. And then Prabhupada has explained that you should have a humbleness and follow the instructions and chantings. Then you will not need to leave the house. Now this is for the grastha. But a person who's vanaprastha, the same instruction will be upon for him also, or he can go for dhamvas.
Prabhu, this instruction is mainly for grihasthas, because Kurma Brahmana is a grihastha. So from that perspective, he is saying, and so Prabhupada purport talks about leaving the family. So that shows that those who are grihasthas should not take up this, leaving the family abruptly without fulfilling the responsibility. So vanaprasthas, generally we call the vanaprasthas only when they completely fulfill the responsibility and hand over everything to their children, grandchildren, and then they leave. So it is not for them. It is for grihasthas who abruptly leave the responsibilities and want to go.
Okay.
For them it is.
Yeah. Second point was how the dhan. Usually we say the dhan was for obstacle for the bhakti, but here Kurma Brahman says that my dhan is also get purified. So in 125, Shloka number 125, in that he says that my family full, and so how we can understand that one?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah. Ji, Prabhu.
So, nice, Prabhu. Your question is nice. Actually, wealth is not obstructing to progress in Krishna Bhakti. Provided entire wealth, if you dedicate it to Krishna, then there is no point of accumulating wealth. For example, Bali Maharaja. Bali Maharaja was having whatever, Krishna grabbed everything. See, completely given to Krishna. Then he became a beautiful, wonderful devotee, because even though he has taken the birth in the demonic family, he came from high level to high level of devotee. The number one demonic person, and surrendered to everything, given all wealth completely to the Krishna, then Krishna pleased, then he became a pure devotee. So when we have the wealth, enormous wealth, doesn't matter. We can keep on accumulate the wealth, no problem. So everything we have to dedicate to Krishna, please Krishna, then it will be, it is not an obstacle to come up in the spiritual platform. That is my understanding.
Okay, so means
So,
we should tell that this wealth is given by the Krishna. It belongs
yes,
to him. So our attachment,
yes,
when we give it, we don't get attached too much to the earning or to hankering for that one. Then it's purified, right, Prabhu?
yes, yes, Prabhu. How we are utilizing our wealth, that
Yeah.
which is given by Krishna to please him
And that,
again. That is the question, Prabhu.
yeah. That only
So,
I was thinking. So this was okay.
yeah,
Thank
this
you
is,
so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
we can understand Prabhupada Lila Amrita also. When Prabhupada Lila Amrita Prabhupada went to the Detroit in USA, he purchased 3 lakhs those days. That building cost was 3 lakhs dollar. Then 1.25 given by our Ford owner. What's the name?
Ambrish Das Prabhu gave, yes, yes.
Ambrish Das gave 1.25 lakhs those days. Then remaining he called another Mataji.
One more Mataji is there, some
Mataji.
Mataji name. Recently I read, Prabhu. Yes.
She also car owner family, that Mataji also. Prabhupada called that Mataji. Amrish Prabhu giving 1.25. Remaining you put and both of you purchase the building. Like that Prabhupada given instruction. Then that money become a Krishna's property now. So like that, when we utilize our wealth for Krishna's pleasure, it won't be obstacle for our spiritual advancement. That's my understanding.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Prabhu, I just can add one small example. Prabhupada many times says that I travel in Rolls Royce car. So I'm not traveling for my purpose. I'm traveling for Krishna's service. So in that way, anasaktasya vishayan yathartham upyanjan nirbandha Krishna sambandhe. Use in the service of the Lord. So that's what we can do, Prabhu. Not for ours. Then it becomes purified. That's what my understanding is, Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much. Because when he writes 3 words, I was a little bit stuck in my mind. Why is writing the money is get purified by the association of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That was a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Money gets purified, association of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, association of devotees. We had Radhapati Krishnadas Prabhu in Krishna Desh. He was part of our Chakra. Now he's in Malaysia. So he had, by virtue of his position, he was working in Qatar Airways. By virtue of position, he was given, he was having a huge big villa. So that villa, he was, because it is Krishna Desh, a lot of Suraksha problems are there. So the way we were doing is, once we go into the villa, it is a standalone. It is not again compound villa or something. It's a standalone villa. Once we go inside, colors, now it is we are in separate world. So all Suraksha problems were taken care. So he was using the facilities what he is given by the Lord for propagating Krishna consciousness. So the point here is that using what we have, when we use the Krishna service, in Krishna service, that is purified.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thanks for a nicely answered question. Thank you, Shamsundar Prabhu, for stepping in. So if you don't have any other questions, Mataji, you can conclude the session.
Yeah, Prabhu. Chaitanya Charitamrita